Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Mason here, back here with a prediction for a new season. Of course, the last video I did upload was the reacting to last season's prediction. So it's a new season, and let's just get straight to the prediction. So we got relegation. So in 20th place I've gone with Sheffield, 19th Luton, and 18th I've gone with Forest. I think Sheffield United haven't got the fight in them for this season. They haven't got the players. I think mainly their players are championship players. And I just don't see Sheffield United surviving. I think they're going to be a bit like Norwich when they're in the Premier League. Or maybe better than them, or maybe worse. But something like Norwich. Maybe win a few games every so often. Maybe that, or, but I don't see them. I don't see them surviving. Luton 19th. True fact, I am actually was born in Luton. About half an hour away, so they are technically my home team, because where I live we don't have a home team. We were stuck in the middle between Milton Keynes, Cambridge and Luton. So Luton, they're gonna have I think the players are gonna be hyped. I think they're gonna be up for it, which is the more advantage to Sheffield United. I think they've got Chon, who might do well. We'll have to see. I don't think he was great for United, but I don't know how he done in Birmingham. And then they got another player, but I just think it's the drive they've got. But I don't think the drive will be enough. I think they'll be up for it, but I don't see them surviving. Just same with Sheffield United. Forest 18th. I think this is going to be the day they go. I think it's going to be between this team and another team, which I'm going to put 17th, which is going to be Everton. But Forest, I could see them battling relegation with Everton. I think Forest, look, last season you stayed up, but I just think this season they're not going to bother. I don't think they're going to stay up this season. I just think this season it's just not going to be this season, innit? I think it's just going to be up and down. I think they're going to be in a relegation fight with Everton, and I think Everton's just going to beat them. But you could switch between Everton and Forest. And I've put Everton 17th, and I still think they will be in a relegation fight again. Whether they bought Danjuma, yeah, he is better than Calvert-Lewin and Maupay, absolutely. But you still got the same place for last season. And Dyche is not the manager anymore. So I think this is going to be maybe a relegation fight, but I just, again, think they'll survive. 16th, I've gone with Wolves. Listen, they've done well. I think they're going to stay up again. I think what they've done, they've been in the Europa League twice since they got to the Premier League. They got a 6th, I think, at one point, 6th or 7th. But I just don't see them, since Santos has left, it's not been great, and the players they've got, the best players they've got have left. Jimenez, okay, he's not at his best, but they haven't got a striker now. They haven't really got a striker. Matt Doherty came back. I still think Matt Doherty is going to be not as good as he was back. I think him leaving for Spurs was a big mistake for him. And I think Ruben Neves leaving is a mistake. I think Moutinho, yes, he's old, but I still think he could deliver for Wolves. And Ruben Neves is obviously one of your best midfielders last season, or one of your best midfielders since you got to the Premier League. So I think this is going to be one of the worst seasons since they've come back in the Premier League. 15, I've gone West Ham. Switch them, thank you. I think it's going to be a terrible season for them. Yes, they're in Europa League, but I think they will get to round 6. I probably think they'll get round 32, round 16 probably, and get knocked out. I don't see that. I think Declan Rice is a big miss for them. I think they've got the defence. I think your defence is solid, but it's the forwards that you need to really upgrade. Antonio's crap. I watched him against Fiorentina. He can't score goals. Samaka's homesick. Bowen's the only one that delivers. Ben Rama's decent, but again, you need that clinical striker, and you need 2 new midfielders, because Soucek is absolutely terrible, and Declan Rice, of course, you're going to miss, of course. So you got the money. I think they should start spending it on players. 14th, I've gone with Bournemouth. Like, I see a lot of predictions that Bournemouth are going to get relegated. I don't see them getting relegated, guys. The manager they're bringing in is better than O'Neill tactically. He has better tactics. O'Neill, okay, I think he was a bit overhyped. Yes, he done a good job to keep Bournemouth up, but I still think his tactics wasn't as good as the manager they're bringing in. You just bought a new left back from AZ. I think it's AZ. Yep, AZ. He's going to be a good player. I just see Bournemouth staying up. I think they're going to be some games. I think they'll go on a little losing streak, but I mainly think it will be a positive, and then I think they'll stay up. Burnley 13th. I see Burnley staying up. Vincent Kompany's a great manager. I watched him Burnley against Man City. I think it was the FA Cup. He done well. You know, okay, he lost, but he doesn't have the players. Okay, but I still think with his tactics and maybe if he gets some new players, I think the new keeper they just bought is brilliant. He won. He did a great penalty save in the Euros, England. I England. Yeah, Euros. Under 20s or under 21s, and he was phenomenal. Didn't concede a goal in that tournament, so he's going to be a good signing for them. And I think, you know, Redmond, okay, he's not the greatest, but he'll bring some experience. And I think the drive, the tactics of Vincent Kompany will bring the players up. And I see Burnley staying up, absolutely. 12, I think it's going to be Palace. Roy Hudson is staying this season. He did do well. I posted on TikTok that I think Palace was going to be maybe in the 17th after Hudson came, because I think Hudson is too old, and I said Hudson's just not going to be the manager of Palace, but I was wrong. When Hudson came, Palace was a different team, different gravy, but I do think they're going to struggle without Zaha. He was the star player, but I still think you have the players that could carry the team. Eze, Olise on the right wing. Eze is a good midfielder and Olise is a great right wing. I think hopefully Edouard can turn up, because I know people were hyping him in his first season. He's not been the greatest, but maybe he could turn it around. But yeah, I see Palace getting 12, which probably might be a common prediction for them. 11th, I've gone with Brentford. I think Brentford are going to be struggling a little bit at the start, but I do think that Tony will be missed, absolutely, but I think once he comes back and he gets him started, they will be back again. But I still think Brentford will do well, absolutely. Same with Fulham. Look, I think Fulham, switch them, thank you, 10th place. I think Fulham will do well. There's no denying with that. That they will, again, switch them. I don't want Brentford 11th, thank you. Fulham 10th. This prediction is trying to kill me. It's trying to switch my predictions. Yeah, I think Fulham, look, they just sold Mitrovic. Jimenez is not going to be the great signing, but I still think they have the players. I think Silva's, if he stays, will do another good job. Your midfield is very good. I think overall your team is just, it's the same teams for last year. If you can get 10th with that team last year, I definitely think they'll get it this year. 9th place, I've gone with Brighton. I know a lot of people are going to be really like Brighton at 9th. The top 10 is so tough. I think the top 9, is the tough bit. But I think Brighton Europa League is going to maybe put you down a little bit. Look, McAllister going is a bit of a letdown for you guys, but I think the players you're bringing in, I think you've got good scouting. I think Milner's a bench player at best. I think Dahoud's a decent player, but I still think if you sell Caicedo, spend the money. I think if they do sell Caicedo, they might be in worse position unless they get someone really good replacement. But I do think they'll do well. I think, of course, the manager for Brighton is fantastic. His tactics are brilliant. But I do think they're going to get 9th. I don't know if a lot of people will agree, but yeah. Spurs, I think it's going to be 8th. I know a lot of Spurs fans are not going to be too happy with that. Not Brighton. Spurs, thank you. I think Spurs are going to be getting... I think Spurs will get 8th. James Maddison's going to be a great player, but with the Kane situation, we don't know. So far, from the time I'm recording this video, you still got Lloris, who's done. He's finished. He makes errors. Centre-backs, Romero's the only good centre-back. But besides that, you have no other centre-backs. It's just the same team, what I'm looking at right now, apart from Maddison. And I'm not too keen. I don't know about the old Celtic manager. I don't know. I personally think this is going to be, again, an 8th place finish for Spurs. And I think your owner's going to let you down again. 7th place, I'm going to go with Villa. Do you know what? Fair play to Villa last season. As soon as they got Emery in, they've been cooking. And the players they've got, I know people, I've seen people say Diaby's going to be the next Leon Bailey, but worse. No. Because I think Diaby's always been better than Leon Bailey. Let's be real. Leon Bailey, on his day, is good. But I think Diaby has always been better than Leon Bailey. I think Diaby's going to be clinical for Villa. Ollie Watkins is in his form. And you've got Pau Torres, who I didn't want him at United personally because we had Maguire and Lindelof and they were like kind of similar. But if you put in Diego Carlos, if he's fit, and Pau Torres together, that defence is a monster. With, was it Moreno they got as left back, and Martinez as goalkeeper, that defence is cooking. And the midfield, of course, Kamara, great CDM. He was very good for you last season. Douglas Luiz turned it around, and again, you've got some good players, and I think Emery's changed the players. So I could see Villa winning the Conference League maybe, but I think they will finish 7th. I think they will do very well. 6th place, I've gone with Chelsea. I think you will get Europa League. I think Pochettino's going to bring something to the team, but I still think you're not going to get Champions League football. You have bought a few new signees. Fair enough. But you've also sold quite a few to the Saudi League and all that. And in my opinion, I think they've gone too much spending. Too much selling this season. Again, they done too much selling last season. Too much spending. So the rotation might not be the greatest. But I do think they'll get... Supposed to put them at 6th, not 5th, 7th. I do think they'll get 6th. I could see them. I could see them getting 6th place. 5th place. I know a lot of Newcastle fans are going to be really mad, but I'm going to put them in 5th. I really have a respect for Newcastle. I don't know why, but I've always had a respect for Newcastle because of what they've been through, and now they've had the Saudis and all that. They're looking a lot more better. So I've always had a respect for them, and I've always, felt bad for what happened under Mike Ashley. So I've always had that respect there for them. I'm glad to see them in the Champions League, but again, I think the Champions League is going to be maybe the cursing a little bit to the table. I still think they're going to get 5th. I think they will fight for Champions League, but I just see the Champions League getting in the way, maybe, and them just getting 5th. But if they get 4th, good job. 4th place. I think a lot of people are going to disagree. I'm going to go with Liverpool. I'm going to go Liverpool 4th. I see a lot of people put Man United behind Liverpool. When, let's be real here, I know we're rivals, and it's not me being biased. This is the same Liverpool team last season that pretty much struggled. Apart from, you've lost Fabinho, so you have no CDM. You've got no Jordan Henderson. The only midfielders you've got is, I can't pronounce his name from Leipzig, that midfield. He is a cracking signing. McAllister's going to be a good signing. But you have no defensive midfielder. That's probably what's putting you down. Then you've got Diaz, Salah, and Nunez. Okay, fair enough. No Firmino, so no. Is there? You got Jota too, but the defense again. I feel like he's going to put Trent back up right back, which is a stupid mistake. I would play him at centre mid because you could see he's better on that central midfield. Robertson's going to be left back. Van Dijk and Konate and Alisson. It's going to be the same team. It's going to be pretty much the same team. But I do think they're going to have the advantage over Newcastle. Because I think Liverpool will be focusing more on the Premier League to try and get top four. Where I think Newcastle will try and do the mistake of focusing on both, which might cost them a little bit. But I could see Liverpool. It's going to be between Liverpool and Newcastle. Third place, I think United. People are saying United are going to get fourth or fifth. It could be fourth. I don't think we're going to be challenging for the title, but I do think we've got a better chance than Liverpool. Onana, of course, is the signee I'm happy about. I saw a lot of people criticising him against Real Madrid when really none of the goals... The first goal was offside. The second goal he can't do anything about. But the way he plays is going to be clinical. What you see with Alisson and Ederson is you need this... These days as a keeper... As a modern keeper, you need distribution. De Gea didn't have distribution, and his shot stopping at times was very poor. By the way, last season, he was mainly good shot stopping, but I think since January and February, his shot stopping wasn't that good. And I think Onana is a good shot stopper. People just think Onana's not a good shot stopper. Look at his stats and come back to me. But yeah, I think Onana's a great signing. Mount, he's a workhorse. I don't rate him. You know by the channel, I've never rated Mount, but I'll back him up because I'll back my players. We're apparently going to get the new striker from Atlanta. I hope so. We need a striker. And then the rotation's decent. Lindelof as a centre-back, of course, is decent. Malacia, Dalot and Wan-Bissaka will be fighting for the right-back. Eriksen losing it a bit, but he could just be the bench player. We've got Amad Diallo back, who I want him to play a bit more. Just overall, I think we've got enough for rotation. So I think third place. And second, I think Arsenal. I don't know why, but I feel like Arsenal's still going to get second. I don't know why. I have that feeling they're going to get second. But I'm telling you now, Arsenal people, don't play Havertz, Odegaard, and Rice. I would recommend playing Rice, Jorginho, or Odegaard. If Partey's staying, play Rice, Partey, and Odegaard. I wouldn't play Havertz. I wouldn't. He's not the player. I don't know why you bought him anyway, because you didn't need Havertz. But I do think you need a backup striker, definitely. Maybe a new keeper, because Ramsdale is just so overrated. Spaghetti hands. But again, I think they'll be second. But again, I still think City are going to win it. I'm sick of hearing, oh, but City just lost Gundogan and who is it? Trying to think who they lost now. My brain's gone. Mahrez. They've lost Mahrez. Have you seen the squad? They can, on that right hand position, you can play Foden, Grealish, Alvarez, and he plays Kevin De Bruyne there. In that midfield, you still have Rodri, De Bruyne, Phil Foden can play central midfield, and Kovacic. So that's what I mean. They still have the rotation for that squad. People forget that. And the youth players, they've got a couple of youth players coming through. So for me personally, I think people saying Arsenal are going to get top because they got the better rotation clearly don't know what City can do. City can change positions. They could put De Bruyne at right wing. They could put Bernardo Silva at right wing, for example. They put him at right wing. Put Bernardo Silva central midfield. They could just switch it up. And I just don't see City losing the title again. I just don't. I see them dominating the league for the next couple of years because they're just that strong of a team. But yeah, that's my prediction. If you agree, fair enough. It is my opinion, but at the end of the day, If you want to make, if you don't like my predictions, go and make your own. That's what I say. But yeah, I've gone with City winning the league.